so often as coaches with youth basketball teams, we'll throw in layup lines and get the athletes to warm up that way. But we have to think to ourselves, is that teaching a concept, right? We're working on layups, yes, but are we teaching something else while working on those layups? And that is a point that we want to get to as basketball coaches, is that we're teaching a skill, we're working on our basics, yes, our fundamentals, yes, but we're also teaching a new skill in there as well for the athletes to continue to improve. And that's what we're going to do with this one. We're going to line up as if we're in a basic layup drill, but we're also going to continue to work on our pick and roll. So as you can see here, we're lined up like we're in a basic layup drill, right? If this was a basic layup drill, this would be our layup line, this would be our rebound line. But that's not exactly what we're doing right now. Okay, we're going to start the basketballs here on the left side if we're going to be working on right-hand layups, but because we're going to be doing this through a pick and roll. Okay, so number 4 is going to pass the ball to number 1 through a chest pass. Okay, and as that is done, number 4 is going to sprint over here and they're going to set a screen for number 1. Okay, so they're sprinting over there, setting a screen for number 1. And number 1 is going to rip through and come off that screen nice and tight, and they're going to drive middle. Okay, so number 1 with the basketball, they're coming off that screen, they're doing it nice and tightly. Again, you want to push the idea that we want to bump shoulders with our offensive teammate, our screener, and then we're going to penetrate the middle. And then as that happens, number 4 then is going to roll. So number 4 is rolling to the basket. We're going to hit number 4 with a pass, and then number 4 is going up for the layup. Okay, then we're going to switch lines. So number 1 will come over here. Number 4 will get the rebound, feed it to the basketball line, and then number 4 will come and fill the back of the other line. Okay, so again, with this particular drill, we're working on passing, right? We're working on our basic layups, right? It's a great warm-up drill, maybe before games or practices, but we're also working on that pick and roll, right? We're also adding in a skill in there that we want to see. Okay, so again, we'll take a look at it again. Number 5 is going to feed the ball here to number 2. They're going to come over and set that screen here for number 2, right? Number 2 is coming off that screen with the basketball. They're going to penetrate toward the middle of the floor. While that happens, number 5 is going to roll, right? We're going to hit number 5 with a pass. Okay, and then number 5 is going to go up for that layup, and then they will switch lines. Okay, so this is a great one. Like I said, to replace your basic layup lines, but also get your athletes working on something.
Hold on one quick second, coaches. Before you go anywhere, I've got a couple free resources waiting for you from the Basketball Coaches Academy that'll take your practices and take your teams to the next level. First off, grab your complete guide to the continuous motion offense, which breaks down exactly how to teach your players to play the game, not just run plays. You'll learn what continuous motion offense really means, proven drills to build it, and how to run a motion offense continuously. We have lots of different things in this guide. We have video demonstrations, we have diagrams, we have descriptions, everything that you would need. If you want your athletes to develop real basketball IQ, this is the starting point. The second item that I have for you is the 5 must-have out-of-bounds plays for all ages. These are game-tested sets that you can run with youth or high school teams. We have baseline out of bounds, we have sideline out of bounds, all free for you. They're simple to teach, tough to guard, and each play includes clear diagrams and coaching points so your team stops wasting possessions. And lastly, I have the practice plan template. This printable practice plan template is the exact layout that I use to organize and plan every practice session. So you can plug in your warm-ups, skill blocks, team drills, and scrimmage notes so you can walk into every gym with a clear plan and zero guesswork. So I have these 3 free items for you. You can claim them using the link in the description. They'll be sent to you right away. Enjoy.
Okay, so we are going to have a line right here with the basketballs, okay? And then we're also going to have somebody right here around the center of the floor, around the 3-point line, and they are going to be the screener. Now, we're going to have a coach stand right here around the free throw line, and they're just going to mimic a defender being there, right? So we're going to pretend that we have a defender here. Basically, with this drill, we're going to teach the athletes how to run a pick and roll. It's as simple as that, right? And all we're going to have being done is a simple screen. They're going to roll to the basket, and this coach is going to act here as a sample defender, and we're going to hit the roller for a bounce pass. So this is a very basic drill, something that you can use to replace your layups. Maybe if you're just running layup drills with your athletes, you can throw something like this in there to enhance it and maybe teach some new skills as well. So let's take a look at exactly how this would work. So we're going to have this player dribbling the ball. It's going to be mimicking our point guard, right? This is the person in this line. And as that's happening, we're going to have number one right here come and set a screen for number two. Okay, number two is coming off that screen. We're going to teach them to be super tight, okay, to that screener, almost bumping shoulders on the way. Okay, so as number two comes off that screen, they're then going to penetrate the middle. So we're going to have number two begin to penetrate the middle. So they're going to start driving around where this coach is right here. Now, as that is happening, obviously the number one is opening up and rolling to the basket. Okay, so we want number two to kind of dribble toward our coach. Our coach has their hands up nice and wide to mimic a potential defender. And then number two is going to hit number one with a pass or roller, probably in this situation, a bounce pass. And number one is going to go up for the layup. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at this again. Let's have these folks reset. Okay, we're going to have number two here. Let's reset it. So number three has the basketball. They're mimicking our point guard. Number two is now going to come and set that screen here for number three, right? Number three with the basketball is coming off of that screen. Okay, now what are we going to have happen? Number two is going to roll to the basket. Number three is going to penetrate, okay, toward the coach right here. We're going to have number two roll, and we are going to have number three hit them with a bounce pass. Number two goes up for the layup. Okay. So number three came from this line, right? Came off the screen. Now number three is going to become the screener, and the person that was originally the screener and then ended up rolling and coming up for the layup, they will then go to the back of the next line. So number two will get the basketball. They'll go to the back of the line. Okay. And the balls are going to be up here as well. All right, folks. So there we have it. Those are the pick and roll drills that we have to discuss in this video. I think the big key with pick and roll is if you're teaching this to a young team, really start basic, right? Show them a few times how to do a pick and roll, right? Through, using your coaching staff to do so. But then you want to start with really basic drills like this, right? And I'm sure you're probably thinking, I want to complicate it. I want to, continue doing this. But with pick and roll, right, and when you're dealing with youth athletes, you want to keep things basic. You want to keep them, just focusing on the fundamentals. So, maybe a plan to do this and teach your pick and roll is, maybe not spend one practice on it and, keep pushing the idea and, hope that they'd have it after that one practice. But maybe, if you're a young team or even if you're an older youth team and, you're still trying to enforce those fundamentals, start every practice doing layups this way, right? Incorporating these two drills, incorporating these as your warm up. And, instead of just having, someone doing layups, or your two your layup line, your rebound line, or whatever, warm up you might be doing as an active warm up, do something like this, right? Continue, focusing on your layups, but doing it through, pick and roll, right? Maybe it's, we do a regular layup line and we make, 20 layups as a team, and then we do it this way and we make, 20 layups through a pick and roll, right? So it's, we want to keep enforcing those concepts without shoving it down their throat. So they do this drill, once every, week to start practice. By week 3 or week 4, your team's going to have this, figured out, and they're going to understand through muscle memory how to do a pick and roll. So that's my rundown of a pick and roll. Hope everyone enjoyed it, and let me know if there's any topics that you'd like us to focus on next.